Alright, you guys, welcome back to the table. Highway 1 RC, Nitro J, Chris Vila, and you guys just watched us tear up Corona Park in the rain. I mean, Jay, how was that, man?
That was an awesome day in RC. Experiencing elements like that with all the rigs and the buddies out there, just a great time.
And it was cool because when someone wouldn't capture a line, someone would capture a line. We were all juiced. You can see us. My favorite part is when Jay captured one of the hardest lines out there in the rain. You gotta remember, and these are stock tires, stock foams, and you got that, dude. And you see, we pan back to Jay. He's pumped. And then also Vic conquered a line as well, which was with this. You know, with that said, before we get into the Gen 8, this has always been an underdog for us, and that was the first time we ran the stock tires. And what do you think of the stock tires? I mean,
they worked. It showed where an aftermarket tire and a stock tire differ, so to say, because we've been running on the Pro line Super Swampers
and the BFG Pro lines, the small 1.9s, and that's why we've always liked this truck, because like what Jay said, we put these Pro lines on here, and it just blows our mind.
Yeah. So it took away a little traction out there on that wet day, but it also made you a better driver, and I like to see the wheels spin, so that's always fun.
And it was good to actually, in the rain, those tires actually worked. I mean, we would probably captured those lines on these Pro lines, but for a stock tire,
and that's where we're going, box stock, so that's what it's got to be.
So I'm pretty happy this is still hanging around here, and you know, giving everyone a run for their money.
Nothing broke?
No, nothing broke. Still to this day, one of the coolest things is when it does take a hard fall, the links pop out, just push it back in. You know, so we haven't had any problems with this, and HPI, man, thanks for hanging in there with us.
It's a great brand for sure.
And this, I mean, Jay, dude, you captured some stuff that day, man. Like,
it's a very capable rig, as we've been trying to show you and tell you. It kind of speaks for itself. We'll do a little speaking on the background of it, but man, out the box, you can't ask for more. I mean, I don't know what else it would really be, but you really can't. For $300, you can't ask for anything more.
You know, in the rain, my biggest problem with this truck is the body popping off and the foams. But I mean, watching Jay drive and capturing that one line, that's wet rock clay. We was in red clay. You know, I mean, it was hanging, and and that's the one thing. It has its own identity when it flexes and when it moves. Like, I mean, you'll have to just either own one to see, but you would have fun with this truck. That's what we've been having fun, and that's why it's been on the table this long. You know, but one thing is, I slipped because it was a rainy day. Instead of saving the truck, I threw it. So we don't know if the front axle snapped when that happened or when we were making our way down the hill. But by the end of the trail, the front axle snapped.
I'm gonna say 99.9%. We'll leave that 0.1% to actual fault, but I think it was due to the toss that it broke. So
because I chucked it.
On a technicality, it broke, but you know, what do you expect at that point? Yeah. It did make it through the whole course, all the couple months we had it, without that breaking until that happened, so just keep that in mind.
So, shout out to Vince, our research and development team from Redcat right there. Put it back together for us.
Thank you, Vince. Down there at JJ Customs.
That's right, JJ Customs. And now it's ready to go after the king spot. I mean, going after the crown. This is a heavy situation right here for us, because this is the one truck that we believe right out the box, bone stock, you're capable. You know, it's done the Highway 1 RC hill climb. That is not easy. You know,
box stock.
Box stock. I'm telling you. Someone said they could do it in an axial, but I haven't seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? Nick did it with just some rims and tires. We saw that, but he didn't come down. So remember that this went up and down, and that's what blew me and Jay away. You know, we've always thought the Trail Canyons were amazing stock tire.
They are.
You know, but this one we're having a lot of fun with. And I mean, that's the one thing me and Jay can both agree on. We are having a lot of fun with this, and we put it through salt water, up to 6 inches of salt water. Rain, you just saw just constant rain, and that was the biggest problem with our Gen 7. Is as soon as it touched some water.
Some people are probably thinking that freshwater rain helped that rig out in sorts that day, but yeah, this held up in all that water and debris and corrosion, and it's still here rolling.
Yo, and with that said, while we're at Mount Diablo, we got, Jake, what's this, man?
Man, this is our buddy Chino's rig from Delta Hobbies out in Antioch. Shout out, y'all. He let us borrow it for table time. Thank you. He was driving this at Mount Diablo that day, and this was his main rig that day, and it showed that what you may not think is too capable and people were laughing at on the internet in the beginning, this was conquering some real lines out there. Chino only did one mod, we'll call it the Chino mod. He locked the rear diff, so it has a posi rear now. Out the box, you'll spin the, you'll go opposite, it's an open diff. Now it's locked in the rear, so don't worry, I'm just showing the people. It's locked in the rear, open in the front, stock motor on 2S. Nothing else has been modified, and it took on Mount Diablo with its paws out for sure.
It did. It did. And that's the Yeti Junior Chino mod. That's we call him that. All right. So honestly, it's always great to hang out with Chino. He's one of my favorite drivers to watch. Right. So to watch him hit the whole trail with us hanging with this thing, I mean, it says a lot, because you gotta remember it's open front diff, and Mount Diablo is not forgiving. This thing fell down a 30-foot cliff 3 times and still ran.
Still smooth as butter.
So shout out to Chino, man, an amazing driver.
Definitely.
And with that said, look, we're gonna give you some little donuts at the end of this video. But what's coming up is we did a video on leafs and links. We want people to know the difference between leaf trucks and link trucks. These are link trucks that you see in our TF2, and you're going to see it back at Mount Diablo real quick.
Talking about these links, we don't have a leaf sprung truck on board here, but there'll be leaf springs instead of links, more like a traditional truck that'll be sitting outside. There is traditional trucks with links as well, but we're just saying more street truck wise would be leaf sprung trucks.
There you go. So you're going to get to see just watch this right quick, and then also right after that, we got some paint game with Nitro J and Off One Tone. We got a lot of great things going on over here, and then we'll get to these two. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jay, what do you think right now? Just what's your thoughts?
I mean, honestly, when this rig came out, it took over the crawl scene in stability, capability, and this quickly followed behind. We felt that was themed after this with its portal axles, front mount motor, trans case, separation, and everything that's going on in there. And that's why that rig does so good on the trail, because it's themed directly after this, not any other predecessor rig out there. So, I mean, these are some top contenders out of the box for under $400 for sure.
Well, you know what? Let's let the trail tell the truth.
That's what we like to do.
All right? We'll see you guys on the trail.
Woohoo!
Jay, do that one more time. Oh, man.